All right, on this episode, we're going to talk about the one and only thing, the most important thing that you need to look at when choosing a network marketing company, and it's probably different than you might think. Hey, what's up, my network marketing friend, Todd Falcone? Welcome back. And it's probably been a little bit. I've had my head down, focused on a bunch of activities and projects for the last 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're like, hey, why has Todd not posted a video on YouTube or a blog post? I'm not going to go into all the stuff I've been doing, but it's been preparing a lot of stuff for you guys. I've got a retreat coming up. It's a business building retreat. I'll probably put some details in here. So if you're interested in that, by the time we get the video out to you, it may be already sold out because we're only taking like 8 to 10 people. This is a working business building retreat, but nonetheless, I'll make sure we put some details below so that you know about it and how to get access to it. So I did a live last week on Facebook, and I wanted to come in here and kind of do a permanent video on the subject of picking a network marketing company. And, you know, what are the things that you need to look at, look out for, what's most important, what really doesn't matter. And I think a lot of people look at companies and they do, they look at something like, oh, the product, that's got to be the most important thing. I mean, if the company, I'm not saying the product's not important, don't get me wrong, but that is far from being the most important thing when it comes to choosing a network marketing company. And this is based, again, on, a lot of experience in this business. I've been doing network marketing for 35 years. I've seen companies go out of business. Many companies go out of business over that period of time. And it's just, here's the thing. If you're going to do this, if you're going to, put time, effort, and energy into something, you're going to give a percentage of your life away. You should have something that you get in return, not, oh, sorry, we're out of business, or sorry, we decided to go affiliate on you, which is, I'm not going to say that's a trend that's taking place, but nonetheless, there are definitely a number of companies over the last several years that have chosen to go affiliate. I mean, even some large companies, Rodan and Fields several months ago, a lot of people would think, man, that's a company that, that would never happen. But it did. And they cut off every single distributor and turned into a single tier affiliate program, which is, super unfortunate. I mean, it's devastating for some people. So, so let's talk about, what do you need to look at? I will tell you this, without exception, the single most important thing that you need to look at is who is running the show. Like, who's running the deal? Who's pulling the purse strings? That is by far the single most important thing that you need to look at. Who are these people that own the company? What have they done in the past? Have they ever run a network marketing company before? If so, how did they do with that? Do they have prior field experience? And I'm not saying that's a requirement, but like here's the thing. In the end, I mean, as independent distributors in network marketing, you've got all this flexibility to I'm sitting here, I've been working in a home office. Like, I don't have to commute. I go upstairs. I have an assistant, but I don't have all the expenses that a typical business might have. And so there's a lot of advantages to being involved in network marketing, not even talking about the upside potential in terms of income, the ability to earn income on the efforts of hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of people. That to me is the single greatest quality of network marketing, having leverage available to us. But in the end, like, all the cool things about it, the one thing that you don't control, you control everything else. You control whether you get out of bed and get after it or lay on the couch all day. So, but the one thing you're never going to have control over is what kind of decisions the company makes. And, even if you're a high level leader on the I don't know, the round table or the advisory council or whatever it might be called if your company has one of those, you still don't make those decisions. And so you're at the whim of hopefully good decision making. And I think it, if you're in an advisory council type of situation where they take the top, 10 most experienced people and you meet bi-weekly or monthly and you're able to talk about what's going on in the field and it's an open, two-way conversation and, you're able to have some degree of influence, that's great. But even in that kind of a situation, in the end, again, it's like what decisions they're making that can make or break you. And I mean, I remember like one time I was working with Mark Yarnell at the time, and I was in Melbourne, Florida, and there was 52 of us, the 52 top people in the company. And the president of the company, who I knew, met him back in, he was in my Pro Step organization. He was an executive director, which is a high level rank in Excel Telecommunications, made a bunch of money there. And then he became the president of the company. In fact, Mark, my buddy called me. I won't get into the whole story, but I ended up working directly with Mark Yarnell for about 5 years. And I, I was in a meeting room. I remember sitting on my right was this lady, Dean, super sweet, 67-year-old devout Christian woman, and Jeff gets up there on stage and just starts blasting the audience, just like you effing this and effing that and FFF and effing this. Because one person the night before, one person was in a business opportunity presentation, one of the people in that room, and they were talking during the business opportunity presentation, being disruptive, which is just stupid. But instead of Jeff confronting that person one on one and saying, whatever, just that wasn't cool, don't ever do it again, he blasted everybody in that room. And I can tell you that the company shut down from that point forward. Like I never recruited another person. Pretty much everybody in that room never recruited another person. I played golf with Jeff that afternoon, and I was like, dude, we're done. He's like, what are you talking about? We're done. I'm like, what you did today on stage, you just destroyed the company. He's like, whatever. I'm like, no, you destroyed the company. And we were going like this, and from that moment, that one decision, bang, and then the company tanked. And it was that one decision. So I've experienced it myself. I had a previous company owner as well that was, I didn't know this. In fact, I was prospecting one day and I was like, I mentioned the name of the company. He goes, oh, yeah, so and so. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Oh, he's a big gambler. I was like, what? He goes, oh, yeah, man. I've seen that guy lose like $500,000 like in one night in Biloxi, Mississippi. He's like big craps player. I was like, what? Are you sure that's the guy? He's like, oh, yeah, no, that's a red Ferrari. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was the guy. I had no clue. And, it took a little while for us to, fall apart, but we fell apart. And so those are just two, like I've been there, done that. I mean, I've had those experiences. I have had more than that, but I'm not going to get into it. So, again, I'm not going to get into it. I've had other situations where owners have completely destroyed organizations and faith and confidence in the field, and it's bad. So I'm just telling you, look at who runs the company. It doesn't at that point, it doesn't even matter what the hell you're selling. I mean, if they're not going to make good decisions for the field, you got no chance. Now, do they need to have prior network marketing experience? No, they don't. I think it's advantageous if they do, but it's also not a guarantee. Just because you're a good person, let's say you made millions of dollars in the field, that does not make you a good owner. It does not make you a good owner, because I've seen top reps who are amazing in the field, but they're not good owners. I mean, honestly, it takes different skill sets and different personality types to go from independent distributor to owner. Like I can tell you right now, I mean, I own my business, my speaking and training business, but owning a network marketing company is nothing I'm ever going to do. I would not be good. I know for me, like going into an office and running a staff and a team and being the CEO and founder of a company, it's just not in my wheelhouse. I have no desire to do it, never will. So I'm just too freewheeling and like, I mean, it's not like I don't show up. I've been in the office this morning since 7. I mean, and most mornings I'm in here 6:30, 7 o'clock getting after it. So it's not lack of work ethic. It's just, I know that I wouldn't make a good CEO. So in fact, I was asked to be a CEO of a company about 15 years ago and I denied it. I was like, no, not my thing. So So how do you do that? Google, you can research, you can do background checks, you can, and past history is a pretty good indicator of what's going to happen in the future. Not a guarantee. So things may still happen. They might have done really cool things in the past, but now they start going sideways. I mean, again, you're looking at probabilities here. So, what they've done in the past, they've run multiple successful companies. Okay, cool. The likelihood of them running another successful company is higher versus tanked a company, tanked another one, tanked another one. So that's what I would look at first. Okay. And again, I mean, you may already be in a network marketing. You're likely already in a network marketing company. If you're watching me, you may not be, but I'm just telling you, if you ever are in the future going to look at a network marketing company, then you need to look at ownership. And again, it doesn't matter if they've, there is the advantage of having someone who's been in the field and successful in the field, and now they're corporate, is that they can empathize, they can relate, to the pains and the frustrations and the victories and all the things that we experience as independent distributors because they've been there, done that. So there is a degree of relatability from that standpoint. But again, they may be able to be good owners. They may not. We don't know until they've. Well, let's see how they are at running a company versus being a top leader in the field. So ownership, number one. Now after that, I don't really have any order. Okay. The first thing I would probably think about is, okay, what are you selling? Well, we're selling this product or this line of products. Okay, good. Is there a need in the marketplace? Is there a good value proposition in terms of, and the actual price doesn't matter, because like every car has four wheels, but like a Volkswagen, has four wheels that get you from point A to point B. But a Mercedes-Benz S500 AMG also has four wheels, and that's 130,000, 40,000. And the Volkswagen is 30 grand. Well, why are we paying more? Well, you're paying more because it's a higher quality of product and you're paying for the brand. So price doesn't matter. It's the value proposition. That's why people are willing to spend 130 grand on a Mercedes, because of the quality of what they're buying versus a Volkswagen. Yeah, sure, they'll get you from point A to point B. So again, I don't have an order here. Like number one, first, like way up here is owners. And then down here, they're all kind of bundled together for me. It's like, okay, product, is there viability in the product? A great litmus test. This is like the ultimate litmus test is, would you buy that product at full retail, even if you weren't getting paid? That like if you're like, yeah, no problem, I would absolutely not, pay full retail, even if I had nothing to do with the compensation plan. If your answer is no, run. Like you're like, no, I wouldn't pay that. Then why would you expect anybody else to pay that? Because I've seen this, I've had this happen. I've seen it happen more times than I can count, where, here's an example. Somebody's in the business and they're paying $100 for auto ship. And let's say their check is $500. Of course, they're going to stay on auto ship because their $100 auto ship's qualifying them for their $500 check. So it's a net 400. Now the check drops to 400. Then it drops to 300. Well, 300, the cost is 100. I'm netting out 200. Of course, from a financial, even if they're flushing it down the toilet, they're still going to stay on auto ship because the net, the net income that they're getting out of it is positive. Now, what happens when your auto ship is $100 and your check is $50? Now it's dropped. I've seen people do this where it's like, oh, as soon as the check drops below the cost of the auto ship, they're gone. So that clearly tells me that they don't see the value in the product. Because if they did, even if they were earning a check and now the check is dropped to zero and then they cancel their auto ship, that shows me that they really didn't have, they didn't see the value in the actual product, because they ended up canceling on their auto ship because it was costing them money. That is fantastic litmus test. Would you use that product or service even if you were not earning a check, buying it at full retail? If the answer is no, you need to, look elsewhere, because how do you expect anybody else to do the same thing, right? So comp plan, I think it's always interesting that people looking at the compensation plan and going, okay, comp plan, oh, this is the most important thing. The reality is most compensation plans pay out within the same percentage range, somewhere between 25 and 40% roughly. So in other words, for every dollar that comes into the company pays out to the field somewhere between 25 and 40%. It ranges. But like binary, unilevel, hybrid, matrix, breakaway, whatever it is, they all pay out money, effort in, volume out, checks out. It's all the same. So yeah, there's different ways to get there. I mean, it's all the same activities, but they're all basically the same. So, this whole thing is like, oh, our compensation plan is the best. No, that's totally subjective. It might be the best for you. You feel it's the best for you, but sit there and say, and please don't go out into the marketplace and say, you know what, our compensation plan is the best, because you have not done a statistical analysis against every other compensation plan that exists in network marketing. Because if you said that to me, I would be like, okay, cool. Let me see that. Let me see the study. What are you talking about, study? Well, you just told me you have the best compensation plan in network marketing. You must have a research study that shows, the 500 other comp plans that you compared it to show that yours pays out better and more than everybody else. And of course, nobody has that study. That just makes you look foolish when you do that. So comp plan. Okay, cool. They have a comp plan. They have a good comp plan. Again, it doesn't really, like, I mean, yeah, I'll look at the compensation plan, but it's not like on this high priority thing. Owners, is the product good? Uh, every company has a comp plan. They're basically, all similar. They all pay out money. I mean, some are a little bit less lucrative than others. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't look at the compensation plan, but I would never make a decision totally based on a compensation plan. Okay, so there's that. So owners, product, comp plan, timing. Okay, people say, and it's been said by who knows how many millions of people over the last many decades, timing is everything. I think timing may be everything in some instances, but it's most certainly not in every instance. I mean, I interviewed a couple months ago. They joined a 38-year-old company, and now it's like 48 years old. They're crushing it. So, there's people that right now I know for a fact. I got a good friend of mine who's making big money in a company that he joined 2 years ago. That company's almost 40 years old, and he's got people making bank all over in his organization who've never done network marketing, and like a 40-plus-year-old network marketing company. So, having to be in the first, month, 6 months, there's so much more risk there. Not to say that there's not potentially more reward, but there's way higher risk in a company that's 2 months old, 6 months old, or a day old. They've never even delivered product yet. They haven't delivered their first check. We don't even know. I mean, that company's definitely on trial, not literally on trial, but mentally on trial until like they prove that they can deliver. So, compensation plan, timing, and you got to, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You got to decide for yourself. I mean, some people love to be early in, but also early in is not a guarantee that you're going to make a big check. It's not a guarantee. You could be early in a network marketing company and, you know, do nothing, and then other people crush it, but you got to paddle. If you're not paddling for the wave that's coming, and you're just a bobber in the water, nothing's going to happen. So it's not a guarantee. You're the person that's got to do the work, regardless of whether the company started 3 months ago or whether they've been in business for 30 years. It doesn't matter. Personally, for me, I mean, I have a preference. I'd rather have a company that's been in business for a few years, that's worked out some of their stuff. And again, that's just personal preference. I'm not, telling you what to do, but I'd rather have a company that's been around for a little bit at least, and they've proven that they've got some kind of track record and that they can deliver. Okay. So we've got owners, product, compensation plan, timing. Okay. And now I'm going to be looking at, okay, what about leadership? Who's bringing me into this thing? Okay. Let's say it's your best buddy who's never done network marketing before. Well, I mean, that might be your leader, if you will, because they recruited you into the deal. But I'm looking at like who are the people that are on this leadership team in line of sponsorship? What kind of tools are they providing? What kind of systems are they bringing to the table for us to build the business? Or am I going to have to, is there a system, or am I going to have to reinvent it or do it all on my own, which I've had to do multiple times because there just wasn't a system. There wasn't, I mean, it was like, here you go. And I'm like, what do we do? Like, I don't know, go out and talk to people. And it's like, you don't have a getting started training. You don't have a marketing system. You don't have processes. Do you have a presentation video? No, you go here, just go talk. I mean, that's not going to fly. So I would look at also like, just like, what are you providing us here? What are you providing the field that's going to help the field to be able to replicate the process? Like, it should be a plug and play type of situation, meaning you just signed up, gave the company money, and you plug into the system and you can play and you can go build because they already have built-in infrastructure for you to go be successful in that, rather than diddling around trying to figure out what you're going to be doing. So I'm trying to think what else is there. Let's say, okay, let me back up for a second. So we got owners, we got product, we've got timing, we got compensation plan, we got systems. What else is there? I don't know. Am I missing something? I mean, again, nothing else matters if the owners suck. So again, I didn't know that going in. I had to learn that through experience. I mean, most people actually, the first time this is actually probably not for first timers, this video, because you're probably finding this video because you're already in a company. I hope you never have to go find another company, but if you did, now you're like, okay, if I go look for a network marketing company, these are the things I'm going to look at. The number one priority is who's running the company, who is running the company. And if it's people that don't have experience, then you're going to need to move on, man. You're going to, or not necessarily not experience, because there's some people that have lots of business experience, run very successful companies. I'm thinking of a guy right now that's been incredibly successful out of network marketing, and then is now running a network marketing company, and they're crushing it. So again, this is probably for people that have been in a network marketing company before, and they're in the unfortunate situation where they have to look at another network marketing company. I'm just telling you, for me, it would be owners, number one, products. Okay, viable product, cool, compensation plan. I mean, I'd look at the comp plan, but it's not like, oh, this is my main determining factor. It's most certainly not. Tools and systems. I'll say one last thing real quick before I go. Publicly traded versus privately held. Okay. There are a number of larger publicly held network marketing companies that are doing very, very well. Herbalife, LifeVantage, New Skin. There's a handful of those companies that are publicly traded companies. The only thing that you need to understand in being involved in a publicly traded network marketing company versus privately held is that when a company is public, the focus is now on the stockholders. And so what keeps stockholders happy? Profits and dividends. How do companies increase profits? They reduce expenses or they grow revenue. So that's just something, again, I'm not at all negative on publicly traded network marketing companies. There's, like I said, I mentioned 3 good ones right there, but this is just something I would be thinking about. Okay, cool. Just, I know that if I'm in a publicly traded network marketing company, they got to keep their stockholders happy. One way to do that is to reduce expenses. Well, the line item of commissions to independent distributors can be it's probably one of the largest, if not largest, single expenses a network marketing company has. So just take that into consideration. It wouldn't make me not do it, but I would think, right? So again, I hope you find this useful. The purpose is to help you become more knowledgeable, more able, being able to make better decisions for yourself. I mean, if I missed something, I don't think I did, but if there's something that I didn't bring up in this video, then let me know in the comments. Okay. So yeah. And I don't know where you're at. You might be on my YouTube pages, which is cool. You might be on my podcast, which is all on audio, which is great as well. I appreciate you guys. There's a ton of resources right here on my website. This is where all the conversation should be taking place. ToddFalcone.com/episode 307. That's this episode that you're on. ToddFalcone.com/episode 307. I hope you're having an amazing day, and we'll see you on a future video.